We'll be streaming live in no time, you be sure link na mamo. Ghana funyina asidake si ena yede ebremo. His Excellency Yera Onyunyam for Benjamin Kofi Quashie, Mr. NDC SA. Okay, so I hope and believe say and you may can be editor. Not too long ago, na edano a Saturday. It was the 7th of December, 2024. Ghana Funyana eto something. They went to the polls and to exercise their rights to vote. Omokoye ne sa pepepe. Anche less than 24 hours. Na tables no atane. Urunu for His Excellency, then the Vice President of the land, the Republic of Ghana, Yera Onyunyamfo, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Bermanisa. So he threw in the thought, said, ready me call, but I'm fat anye His Excellency. Then he was the flag bearer. He was an ex-president of the land, Ghana, and no Obe declared and said, Mama Minsaso, me kwako anye yamfama Yera John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, and wate emano. Ena entempa ekrom ye asedia Ghana fo afi nkwasommu asedia chese aden odwene ho a wonte ase ana Ghana fo ani agesa entino mo asem bion beka no muntimi nkana but ninyina sa ne koye ene yenoma ye South Africa so you be water it's a GHASA radio ehwe GHASA TV Yero Onyunyam for His Excellency Yero Onyunyam for Benjamin Kofi Quashie wano eba fie ha debia ene Ghana fo ebedi enkomo say yemfre fie even got to a point otu mountains so from shop to shop, salon to salon, GHASA TV, GHASA radio, we were part of it, we supported, and he was urging all Ghanaians in the diaspora so one to and as one free fie and country because Europa ensha say intimate about her and the ombitimi ayane so be free fie na omakache Ghana for say omom pe ensisa omoma NPP enkwajo home na NDC emetwaso omome fix the mess NPP for creating no se Ghana futie ya na on the 7th of December and omoye ne sa pepepe edema NDC John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, and afi Ghana funyina on the day Yero Onyunyam for Benjamin Kofi Quashie, His Excellency on also share bo say oba betna sa studio hey na oba beda Ghana fo ase. I did ask him a question, say, na se anko ya eja, na wo ye ne den. I say, abani di NDC befa, Ghana for abre. I thought he was joking. Me nim dia no nim ana dia no hu, but then me busa no, ampa, where di ni boshe so. Or your see idea yo, or can wo yo. Inti ampa, wa bet na ekunya krono a would declare NDC winner before the elections, you know. Sa hano ba bet na beda Ghana for us. Me no ka say the ampa, wa ba studios ha, or ba beda Ghana for us, say, hey, Yadamase, mwe yefin kwasumu. Yero Onyunyam for Benjamin Kofi Quashie, Your Excellency. A very good afternoon to you.
So this is the first time I'm seeing after the New Year.
Hey, true.
All right.
Hey, true.
Mami wish you happy New Year.
Me that's it. Me so.
One at that.
Me that's it.
And also ye TFO nina so no ye damwase ye wish you a happy new year.
No, yeah, that's it. Now, yes, I say no. Maybe what your octopus are now? What did you see in sports? Your octopus be declare. Or better say Madrid Beshi say, are you the octopus of this elections here? Now, how did you know?
I think so.
Because who declares and I walk on Ghana?
Of course, the signals were there for everybody to see.
Okay.
Also, if you are a political party, that's you going into opposition. There are certain things you do that makes everybody realize party way and go ye. I think that the NDC also had the same thing during the time that we lost to Nanado the first time, because when Ghanaians spoke at that time, we were not listening. You know, when they say Nyamama Edin, we said, oh, Shenya Edin. And so, but the politics and the dynamics in Ghana have changed. Because I said last time, I told you, politics has become more scientific than we can see. So you look at polls, say, what is the poll saying? What do you need to do?
It's more of data-driven.
More of data-driven, because that's the age we find ourselves in. And so I think that the NDC this time, we focused more on the scientific side. And then we did what we called a retail campaign, where we don't go in our numbers to one place. The flag bearer goes to programs, there are crowds that come, but Professor Jenana will meet with normal people, architects, seamstresses, barbers, and all of that. So you were taking the message to the people. Now, it is based on that, and I to me who can say the message resonates with the people. Okay. And for me, it didn't come as a surprise. A lot of people have said, what if it had not happened? I said, no, it will happen. The only thing that surprised us more is the quantum of votes that we defeated them with. And I think this is something that we should all be proud of as Ghanaians.
Now, Yansho, you were so optimistic. Say, would you send this be winning? One fan say it's the normal 8 years BIS system. No, they play a major role in those elections.
No, far from that. Nana, the impunity with which Nanado was governing Ghana then, the impunity within which grabbing properties left, right, center without thinking about the citizens of the country, the impunity with which they speak sometimes. Nana Mekai said, when you listen to people like Esla Wusu, you listen to somebody like their former organizer, then Komi, one Komi gentleman. And when they speak to say Ghana belongs to them. Brian Champon, when they speak and say 2 million fam mamu, mu wini cry and fam mamu, somebody like wound to me. So you look at it and you tell yourself, say, nobody is God to sit so high and judge any other human being. Maybe my takeaway from this election is one thing, Nana. I heard Nana Dodanko Akufo-Addo say, President Mahama was a one-term president. President Mahama is somebody that he defeated with 1.something million votes. So me, I asked God, say, Nyame onshen din enyonyam, and prove to Nanado, say, yes, you beat John Mahama, and he became a one-term president per your understanding. But when God speaks, he has spoken. And I think, say, God spoke in a very emphatic way. Maybe during the inauguration, and even before that, we went to Parliament for his last State of the Nation address. And I remember telling my wife, say, it's not easy to rule and lose power, because in the chamber, despite the fact that they were the majority at that time still, and the minority group NDC, but we agree, say it's 137, 136, but they were still called the majority. But the noise Yen Crawford more minority were making in that chamber, and the MPP couldn't say anything back. You know why? Because they knew, say, their days were numbered. They knew, say, some year then crowd, the next parliament, they will be the minority. And the number of seats that they even have, it is a where God decided to vindicate himself. And again, I'm quick to add, say, if the NDC as a political party take this victory for granted, or take the confidence that the Ghanaian people have put in us for granted, maybe we'll lose by 2.something million votes. Because the dynamics of your politics now in Ghana, it has changed. There's nothing about 8 years. People believe, say, government will have to do certain things. It is the responsibility of a government to solve certain problems of the people. That is why you are giving the mandate. And you'll be an bit me. So we, the people, have given you the power. So when you come and you decide to take the people for granted, Nana, they will punish you. And this is what we did. And I'm so proud to call myself a Ghanaian. And I know, say, this mentality of 8 years into your best, or it's not going to work again. What is going to work? And say, do the job for which the people of Ghana have entrusted in your hands. And that is why I'm so proud. Say, President Mahama, now you can hear him say, he's not here to come and give excuses. If he tells you, say, we have 25-point-something billion energy sector debt, that doesn't mean that he should fold his arm and say that he cannot solve it. And he says, look, I'll solve it. No matter how difficult it is, as a country, we'll solve it. And now you see how Ghanaians have come to realize, say, we don't only do politics based on parties. You have people in the NPP who are telling themselves, before you criticize Mahama, give him 2 years or 3 years, because you can't criticize him now because he just inherited a mess. And so that is the kind of politicking. Even though we cannot hold President Mahama accountable to it today, we need to see results. We need to see, say, the leadership that has been entrusted in his hands, he's able to change some of the things Ghana for. And I can assure you, said, Nana will do well. The NDC will do well.
The NDC will do well. Yen for Benjamin Kofi QUASHIE and Etwitwin Komono. Yen at the end of those presidential elections, the Beba parliamentary, the Ebekos was the 9th parliament, if it's something to be happy or not. Emra figures in the by margin edom mono MPP for the can say a MPP for Nibina Oman to Abanashanti region and to Enunti and NDC this huge percentage omodi win. Do you buy that?
Scientifically, that is not true. I've seen a poll by Global Info Analytics, and they've indicated the reason why they lost, it's not about the quantum of, for example, look at the people that went out in Ashanti region to vote. Look at the number that went out. We had a lot other numbers that didn't come to vote. Look at the work NDC did in Ashanti. For the first time, our votes were close to 600 and something. We've never done it before. So, whilst their people lost confidence in them, the NDC and President John Mahama appreciated in terms of votes from Ashanti region from people who believed in the NDC. And I think we also made this kind of analysis when we lost the 2018 elections, where we're saying people in the Volta region didn't turn up to vote. And even in this current election, that the election that just passed, people in the Volta region still didn't meet that even 80%, 90% turnout. But what happened was that majority of those that had bought into the political party messages, they went out to vote. So I think the MPP is early day yet. They'll go into themselves. I hear they formed a committee. It's good for our politics. Let the committee go into finding out at the end of Muluzia. But I can tell you that the first place the committee has to start from, it is from the kind of leaders that Nana Addo and Bawumia produced. They didn't produce leaders. They produced autocrats. They produced somebody like Nanado, who should never happen to any country in the world again, because Nanado had ministers in state for 8 years when everybody was saying Senyamanye Enkuye. This is the kind of leader, somebody who doesn't listen to anybody. So I think it's a shame that we had a president called Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Posterity will not judge him well.
It's a shame.
It's a big shame. Nana, everybody in Ghana will tell you it's a shame. You're starting revealing some of the rots that we've seen in this government. And have you seen the list that came from the executive president to the president, Dr. Callistus Mahama?
Yeah.
Go to the point number 9 on the people that they are revoking their diplomatic passports. Have you seen the sort of people that we gave diplomatic passports? We gave diplomatic passport to entrepreneurs and businessmen. We gave diplomatic passport to people that were in charge of the National Cathedral project.
Yeah.
We gave it's like the diplomatic passport has become so cheap. So cheap. And so you look at these things and you tell yourself, it's a new chapter. Let's ensure we do things right. And I believe, the way the NDC has started and the way President Mahama has started doing things, we will do well.
Okay. You're still in Parliament. Majority, minority. Minority and my parliament, I think a law can be passed. The number, this 9th parliament. Is it good for our democracy? I say it's too huge.
No, one thing I believe in is the margin very, very huge. the president will always have his way in parliament. But you see, we shouldn't let that get into our head and start using power arbitrarily. Let's not think, say, we have the absolute majority, so we can do whatever thing we like. And I'm happy that several times that President Mahama has been asked this question. He says that he will not misuse the advantage that he has in parliament. I think that this parliament will give us an opportunity to get certain things done as a people are. Hitherto, when we were having 136, 137, or 130, 120, or those things, this is an absolute majority. I want to see constitutional reviews. I want to see implementation of national development plans. I want to see, restrictions through the constitution that gives that absolute power to the president. I want to see that our members of parliament bring in bills that would ensure, say, posting people to the Supreme Court, to police service, to immigration. All those things should not be at the bed of only the president, but there should be something that gets there. Because Nana, our country will still continue to be recycling itself, because this year, 4 years, now President Mahama, or Supreme Court, not the another 4 years, somebody else comes from the NDC. Now, the country will not grow. So I think that, and the president has indicated, say, we're using our majority to get a lot of these constitutional reforms implemented. And I think, say, that should be what the NDC should look like. And no, say, Ghanaians gave us this power in parliament to be able to do right things for them.
Into the numbers, no who do be a parliament. Okay. You can also drop your comment. Few messages coming through. This one coming from Theophilus or see Ayezu and BKQ no size. This one coming from do you know, say God richly bless your hard work. You can also keep your messages coming. Yan His Excellency Orono Nyanfu Benjamin Kofi Kwashi and Ejutron Command. And Obaya Yasida and what they break Ghana for a bro with 2 months so share Ghana for some moon free na mon country a yebusian for so one to aba and to abapa and also better my NDC no or my NSA pepe on fa masida in the beer that what they ever more and John Dramani Mahamani NDC no and our power or more able minor. It's an ear din come yemusao John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, Ababe inherited a mess, like you said. So at the end of his term, 4 years, Nasa went to me and here, then we can hold him because one inherited a debt upon debt and a mess. And I say he can still do something. You're very close to him.
A leader is supposed to find solutions. A leader is supposed to help make a way where there seems to be no way. So President Mahama cannot use that as an excuse not to deliver. I've told people, say, you want to say President Mahama 4 years ago didn't know the mess that we were in as a country. He knew. The fact is that now, we've gotten all the figures. We've gotten, their oil for gold deal that they were doing. We asked for everything they didn't give. But today, we have those information because now you are in government. I think that President Mahama has to carry along this governance with the Ghanaian people. Sebita Fletcher, he shouldn't go and find any information and sit on it. And I'm happy that he's bringing the information out. Once there are issues that he believes, all of us as Ghanaians will have to look at and solve. I think, we'll get far. President Mahama will not give that excuse. The person I know him to be, he's a go-getter. He would ensure, the promises we gave in our manifesto. Because that manifesto you saw from the NDC had been meticulously looked at by President Mahama. Because Sami Jenfi was one time telling me, he said, there was a time he even spoke to President Mahama and said, let's put this there, let's put it there. And the man said no. So whatever is in the manifesto of the party, these are things that we are going to look at. These are things that we are going to implement. And President Mahama will do it. He will do his best. And Ghanaians will realize, he has done his best. Within the next year or two, we should get where Ghanaians will say, Charlie, this voting, we vote for President Mahama. It's a brilliant one. And I can tell you, President Mahama calls it a legacy term. He will leave that legacy that after Nkrumah, nobody else has left. He's going to work for the good people of Ghana. I'm sure you are following up with the appointment that the president is giving. These are appointments not to reward family and friends.
There's no nepotism in this.
There's no nepotism. These are people who have distinguished themselves and they are being given this kind of appointment. And he has stated, the appointment will have to be to help in developing Ghana. But Bemuna feels say you want to become rich, you rather go to the business sector. I think that we heard that from President Akufo-Addo. but he didn't implement it. But I'm sure, say, President Mahama will implement it for the better good of all Ghanaians. Media Makase from now will do less of the NDC, the BNC or the NDC party. That no, now we are Ghanaians. Let's focus on building the country that we all want. And I think, say, that is the only way we can be able to hold accountable President Mahama and the NDC administration.
NDC about paying NDC call. Let me take you a bit back. What do you think the NDC wrong? Ghana they voted them out of power. At this time, they won't do it. Do you have anything of heads up?
You remember I said, say, the demeanor that you have from government and appointees when you are in government shows, say, you have the will of the people to continue or not. And I think that the NDC administration then did a lot of things that Ghanaians didn't like. This corruption things that President Mahama didn't investigate properly. We speak about some ills that the people of Ghana were talking about, and the NDC was not listening to them. We talk about some of the challenges in the health sector, in the infrastructure sector. Ghanaians were genuinely complaining about the NDC for that time. So vote for us to continue again. I think that the NDC would this time look at a very critical aspect, that is not taking the will of the people for granted. If the NDC is able to look at it from that angle, and which I believe we are looking at it, we will not repeat the mistakes we made. Of course, the appointments now even show you, say, there is a deviation from what happened before. This time round, we are doing things in the right way. And the president, as you've seen, there are a lot of things that he has started cutting on. When we came into government at that time, we didn't promise reducing number of government appointees here and there. This time he said it. You would have said, say, oh, our appointee will be a and but he quickly told you that, oh, I said this during the manifesto. Let's join these ministries. Let's take out these other ministries. And I think, say, we are now working for the people. Once we continue to work for the people, Nana, I can assure you, say, I'm not one of those who come and sit on your show and say, oh, I've heard some of our comrades now, they are being complacent, say, oh, MPP will be in opposition for 30 years.
I was about to ask that.
MPP will be in position for 24. No, you don't decide that. As an individual, you don't decide that. What I can tell you confidently is, if we continue on the tangent that we are continuing, listening to the people, solving their problems, ensuring, say, there is development for everybody, not a select few, and we'll go far. We cannot have it in our mouth to say, MPP will be in opposition for 24 years, 25 years. No. I don't think that the NDC should support any of our members that give this kind of unguarded statement. What we should be saying is, we will develop this country for it to look better than it has been from Nkrumah's time. I think that should be what we should be drumming home, not our personal and individual preferences.
I'll be asking you this. My main kind of message is Kakra. Maybe said the big and I also witnessed it arrogance and maybe a big right union people for when they resume power or munya to me no minim send this for my front no monye be the ABH but my main reading message is Kakra. You know about Tina Bastin. I want to say the man behind the NDCSC chapter, massive involvement in the campaign and our win. We appreciate you, Your Excellency, and clever. And also, I say, God bless you, H.E. Your dependence on God will carry you. Yeah, very religious. Okasebi and Yakupon Bem. As it NDC for Mabafu Frontino, Ebeka Crano, Chia, from Cramumfa. And to minim say. Yahoo be a ewa bemua said no mube remu na bow and answer more be paying now this time there was be frame because I cost MPP for pa. I'm a living testimony. Yeah. Almost be a demia, be a dubia.
And you're right, but we'll pick everybody's call. I sure say people now have access to. I can speak on myself, but I don't restrict my access. It doesn't mean that we're in government, so you not pick people. I pick everybody's call. I talk to everybody. The only thing I tell people, they say, it's too early days yet. It was a be a fraud, say, oh, person me call military, me person me call soldier. I tell them, say, it's too early yet. Secondly, we should guard ourselves against this thing of saying, say, we are in power, so it should only be about ourselves. Then we are repeating the mistakes of the NPP. So if the military has to take 100 people and NDC people take 80, you should also understand, say, you bring your brothers from the other side too. I heard the Honorable Joyce Bawa Muktagri when she said, say, President Akufo-Addo received everything that the Constitution says he should receive. President Mahama didn't receive it. President Mahama didn't get anything that the Constitution had laid out say he should get. But it doesn't matter. Say Nana Addo did something wrong, so we should also come and repeat the same thing. We'll not repeat it. We'll do things right. And I think say our base should also take a lot of sentiments coming from other quarters speaking about appointments. They are not happy with it. They are not. It's early days yet. Nana, we have 4 years to rule the country. You start with some people.
You are barely into 100 days.
So you just give the appointing authority that chance to appoint people that he believes that he can work with. And now make a change of I say you don't. When people say you have to go and lobby, you have to go and say the person.
Because your help.
Yeah. The lobbying doesn't play too much of an effect. Because President Mahama himself, he knows who he wants to work with. He has been in opposition for how many years? 8 years.
8 years.
So every day he looks at people and their potential. Look, I was not surprised when he put Haruna Idrisu at education. Everybody said Haruna was going to interior or defense. And I said, well, it will be the president's prerogative. But when he put him at education, I said, okay, the man means business. So we should applaud this appointment and also believe, say, when the time is right, our members, we will not disappoint them. This time around, yeah, we catch you the last time when I came here. Say everybody you go to campaign with, say
exactly.
You forget about us. You forget about us. So I think that this time we've learned from it. We will not refuse taking their calls. We'll take their calls. We have a nation to govern. We have a nation to build. Let's do it together. Let's take out arrogancy. Let's take away the impunity of treating people as if they are nobodies. Let's remember, say we are where we are as politicians because of the people. So the moment you forget the point, say. You are not there because your name is Ben QUASHIE. You are not there because you are educated. You are not there because you are more sensible than anybody. You are there because it is the people that voted you into that place. So once you have that in mind, Nana, I'm sure you look at helping grow the country. And I think that is the mindset that current politicians should have and ensure politics should not be about enriching yourself. It's about making sure you leave a legacy that Ochinebi, if I'm not there, my kids will go somewhere and say, oh, there was a man called this and he did A, B, C, D. Let's help you. And I think that is what President Mahama is looking at, and that is what the NDC is looking at.
NDC SA, NDC South Africa, Mabo Jumapa and NDC, Yira Mahama and NDC Etumi Abab. You say Yemrefi, South Africa. Obi here NDC South Africa. The Ghanaian here. Then NDC for more year a day ama Ghana for South Africa.
I think first and foremost, that Ghana for more South Africa. We can't thank them enough. I have stated somewhere, look, the people that we campaigned with here, the sort of messages they gave back home, these are the things that contributed to this victory. It was surprising. Obi was Sunnyside Saloon. Okay. I remember I spoke to a couple of them and they said, oh, a picture, and even though it was illegal, a lot of Ghanaians here took pictures and sent me, okay, this is the evidence. And I realized that the message resonated with the people. I think we want to thank them and we want to assure them, we want to build that relationship more than what we had when we were even in opposition. I can confidently say the NDC in South Africa has done more for Ghanaians than it has done for its own members. And that is the way you have to look at politicking. If you look at politicking to be only for your people, you don't go anywhere. We've had misunderstandings as to how we are able to do things for others and not our own party members. And I keep on reminding all of us, despite the fact that Crawford come up with those explanations, you can't fault them for it. They are right in saying, take care of the NDC people. But you see, when you are entrusted with the mandate of the people, Nana, you don't only do it for one person. You look at the other person also and do it for them. So the NDC in SA, I'm sure, will continue with the work that they've done. Will continue to be in that ear to the people. Will continue to be that solution that the people will be looking at. And I'm sure, Nana, we'll do better and more than even when we were in opposition. And we are going to do it collectively. We can't do it alone. We'll do it with all the Ghanaian communities here. So I wish and pray, my brothers and sisters are more NDC more in South Africa, and they should not see this victory as a victory to say, MPP for you are disgraced and all of that. No, we are done with the campaigning. We are done with the politicking. Now we have a country to build. Now we have a society to build in South Africa. We have to ensure that the plight of our people, the basic needs of the people, we look at how to solve them and make it comfortable for them to be here. If you make it comfortable for your people to be here, Nana, they also work under that comfort, get money, send it back home. And these also help in the country developing. FDIs, foreign direct investment that comes in. These are somebody already 100 rand bekofino. You have about 1 cedi or 2 cedi that goes to FDI. And I think that will help us in a longer way. So the NDCSA wants to thank everybody, our members, non-members, and to say, it is time for us to build that Ghana we want together.
When I've noticed something, Walker saying, minim say a new strategy, and I said the then NDC, why be paying. As at this time, you are in for Ghanaians, not for the NDC. Ambassador Biabaso, make a story Obibi who me person me budding for now. Oba Krum has South Africa, the other kind of say Obama party be ekwayen same baby. But listening to you carefully, I say more and as NDC aba not for the NDC but for all Ghanaians. NDC South Africans so muniha for only the NDC omo Ghana for omo but for all Ghanaians. No. Sana moti and I said this time no new strategy no. And you be the NDC na say you be enjoy monopoly or politics na be
let me repeat it. Nana. During the campaign, President Mahama said something, say he will look at the foot soldiers of the grassroots of our party. And he apologized because everywhere you go, they'll tell us, when we came for you to take us in police, you said we should go and bring our degree. When we came to immigration, you said go and bring your certificates. But they have brothers and sisters during the MPP time. Someone even told us, and President Mahama was there when the guy said it that they had Ladade Kotopon that any panogram to mean they stay in the same house. He cannot write his name, but he's in the military. Do you understand what it means? It means that they have been rewarded as party people. And I think that the NDC has now learned from that mistake that we made in Tampa. When I say we will take care of Ghanaians, our people are also Ghanaians. The NDC people are also Ghanaians. I can assure you confidently, we will do more for the NDC people and we'll do more also for the Ghanaian people. That is how you grow a country. If you decide, you neglect other parties and you focus only on the NDC, there will be another 4-year cycle that you have to go and vote. Perhaps that person that you've neglected contributed 2 or 3 votes to the votes that you had today. And so we need to shift from that politicking. I am saying, we will take care of our people more than we have ever done before. The NDC had not been fair to its members. Over the years, we come in and we say, father for all, father for all. But unfortunately, now we are not going to do the father for all thing. We'll take care of our people more.
Okay.
And we'll take care of Ghanaians also more. I remember when the former ambassador said that thing that he came here to take care. I think it's a Isibuati. It's a public record, so but I think that was unfortunate. That was an unguarded statement, and I think that we don't want to go into those realms with them.
Yeah.
The mistakes they have made, we shouldn't capitalize on them and and make those same mistakes. We should rather capitalize on them and ensure we do it in a very proper and professional way. So I can assure you, Ghanaians would be happy about whatever the NDC is coming to do for the next 4 years. Ghanaians in South Africa will be very happy. The NDC members in South Africa will be extremely very happy. But at the end of the day, we would all build that Ghana we want together.
Okay. And Chebe Jamwako made a minimum baby or 9C minimum set when I say Wapa. Let me get this information out of you. Maybe it will be juicy for GHASA Radio. Maybe it will be a new first time on radio. So in the next 100 days within the NDC, where are we going to find our very own Mr. Benjamin Kofi QUASHIE? Appointment to be because so baby. And I still in discussion.
The president, I've stated this without number that the president is the appointing authority. Governance has got different structures, and most of the times the most important things that a government does is always back home. So you should expect the president to appoint his ministers, his deputy ministers. After that, I know that the next people that needs appointment are the district chief executive, because remember, they are the agents for development back home. After that, fortunately, he has even started now naming people for boards and institutions. So I think that he's hit the ground running. We look up to President Mahama. He knows where he wants anybody to serve. And I'm sure that when the time comes right and he says, go serve there, we'll go and serve.
Okay, but
when the time is right, the president will indicate that.
I'm still pushing by me.
Yeah, but I can assure you, sir, the president will not forget the sacrifices that NDCSA did.
Okay.
When we got back home, there were a lot of executives and members of the NDC here in South Africa that traveled home to ensure that that victory happened. There were people traveling across the whole of the country. You have people like Enoch and Oreku traveling all over. You had Isaac, Alex, Ben, Donald traveling elsewhere, Tina, Lucy, David, you had Mr. Mills and the wife. Everybody came in to do what they have to do. And Danny, the secretary, came from Mtata or somewhere to come and join us. You have the chairman himself, who is still living in Ghana, who joined the campaign of the national chairman. And they crisscross all the country. And I'm certain, sir, we have done what no other chapter was able to do. And it is because of that I served in the transition committee that was appointed by the president, the National Transition Committee. And I was the only person from the diaspora that was on that committee. So I think that it was also in recognition for the work that NDCSA has done. And I can assure you, sir, the president will do what is right for NDCSA.
The president will do what's right. And major last words, but my main few messages have been so about this one again coming from Lucy. I say, well done. Actually, for the good work done for the ADC chapter. Okay, so many messages coming through, but also extending your welfare to other Ghanaians in South Africa. Nuhu and Danny says, we will do it better and more. BKK. The man who always goes beyond the expectations of people has spoken. We are very proud of you and your massive contribution before, during, and after the elections. We've done about 40 minutes. Like I say, you've been done massive for 30 minutes, but you exceeded. Me pacho edena obeka die twa to Ghana for South Africa and Ghana for we yourself and nyina one more edo NDC ebo am NDC ba power ebe yi Ghana for efi enkwasumu and afi so NDC for nankasa. Your last words to them, then we say goodbye.
I think I want to use this opportunity to thank the Ghanaian people in South Africa, to thank our people in South Africa as well. There have been people that are not Ghanaians here who have always said that they pray that the NDC should come to power. I want to thank everybody on behalf of the chapter. I also extend great thanks to the executives of the chapter. They've done brilliantly over the years. They've done what nobody believed that they could do. I want to speak to everybody that is a Ghanaian here and say, we voted massively for the NDC for a reason, and the reason is that we needed to become that developmental agents that we said we want to be. We do not take their votes for granted. Yeah. I want them to know, whatever the party has said, whatever our flag bearer then and now president has said, he would ensure that we implement it to the core. All I can ask for is that a little patience, a little restraint. Let's not jump and say that we want things to be done in this way or that way. I believe, within the next 100 days, when the president has appointed everybody where he wants them to be and where he wants them to serve, what happens now is that we would all come together and ensure, we start with whatever project that we want to do. The NDCSA has always had its own policies and things that he wants to do when it comes to working with the Ghana High Commission. It will not be just because we feel like taking over the commission, we've taken over the commission. I have said without numbers that the commission will have to become that commission that we've never seen before. Yeah. It should be a commission that every Ghanaian and every other foreigner will be so proud of. And I think we have what it takes to be able to do that. And also to thank the good people of Ghana, both in Ghana, across the world, and to say, God should bless them for giving us this opportunity to govern. We don't take it lightly. We would govern based on the principles that we've always stood for: stability, accountability, and unity. The NDC is here to serve Ghana, to serve the good people of the world. And I can assure you, sir, President Mahama will listen to everybody. You know, when the criticisms start coming, then you appreciate what I'm saying here today, because it would not be like the Akufo-Addo time where you cannot talk. President Mahama's time, you can talk, you can say whatever you want to say. But I assure you, sir, with our majority in Parliament and with the way he has started appointing people, we would get there.
Era Benjamin Kofi Quashie, Your Excellency, or no NDCSA, one more penning pa, and again an attribution command will buy at the Asida Kabia, Aside Mudu, Asida PCA, and what they break Ghana for Inina. Teach you one of my South Africa, Edi Mwakotin, more mutu or motu fiha call Ghana Equatuaba, making sure say the NDC wins power, or the Munina say. Yes, you then say, or see a dear you can say NDC win your Babetsnaha Adase, and he did exactly that. A Babetsnaha Adase. Into what I say, we did not just say BBSC. Yeah, but then I say, yeah, the young commotion ABC, GHASA radio, so any.